And we are live, everybody. Welcome. Wherever you may be joining us from, we are broadcasting today to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We're very excited to be doing this. This is kind of our first attempt at doing a live training webinar like this, but this should be a good experience for everyone to see BarnTalk in action. We have today with us Drew Mogler, who's our resident expert on all things BarnTalk. He can walk us through what we're going through today, but some housekeeping items for what we have going on. Whatever streaming platform you are on today, in the comments of this, you'll be able to ask any questions. We will be fielding those and moderating those. So if your question isn't answered immediately, we are putting them in a queue and we'll serve those up to Drew to get those answered at any point throughout the presentation today. As far as our agenda goes, we're just going to kick things off with Drew walking through kind of high level of what BarnTalk has available, what sensors we have at our disposal, and then we're going to show you a short video showing the setup and installation process of the hardware, and then we'll open that up for Q&A, and then we'll jump into the mobile app version of our product, and you can see that in action, and we'll be doing a live walkthrough of that. And of course, we'll have a Q&A session following that. So if you are with us live, go into the comments. We'd love to hear who's with us today and where you're coming in from. I'm broadcasting today from Idaho. It was very chilly this morning. I think we got down to like 25 degrees. So winter is upon us. We're ready for it to get rolling. So yep, if you're with us, I can see that we have 8 viewers. So would love to see who we have with us and post those comments and questions. We'll get ready to go. So Drew, you want to introduce yourself and we can get started.
Certainly. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelton. Appreciate you guys all being here today to learn a bit more about BarnTalk and Barn Tools and what we're about. So I grew up on my family's farm in Northwest Iowa. I'm coming to you guys today from Des Moines area where I live. But I grew up on my family's diversified farming operation up in far Northwest Iowa. I can see into Minnesota and South Dakota from our farm. My family's got a fair to finish operation and some cattle, and we raise corn and soybeans like a lot of farmers in the Midwest. So had a really good upbringing of being able to understand production, agriculture, and livestock production, and really enjoyed my time here with Barn Tools of bringing, good solutions for livestock farmers like my family, experiences. So I'm going to go a little bit into our BarnTalk alarm system, give you a little bit of an overview of kind of what that looks like, our philosophy behind, what we like to talk about as full potential alarms. And how that can, be a benefit to livestock and poultry producers, and hopefully help them raise better animals and make better decisions on their farm. So our company is really founded by folks who understand these firsthand issues that a lot of producers are dealing with. So here's our 2 co-founders, Jim and Michael. Both grew up in the swine industry here in Iowa with deep understanding and knowledge of a lot of the issues that producers face. And so our BarnTalk alarm system is really built around firsthand knowledge and experience that livestock producers have. So if you look at our BarnTalk alarm system, it really compared to a lot of the legacy systems that are out there. It gives you a lot of different advantages compared to existing systems out there. So we can bring you built-in connectivity, give producers the ability to have 24/7 visibility. All of that really allows us to have a reliable alarm system compared to what a lot of producers are dealing with today. So if you think a little bit about how our BarnTalk alarm system works, what we do is we have wireless sensors that we place throughout a farm. And so that allows us to collect information like temperature, power, humidity, water consumption. it funnels back through our gateway box. And our gateway box is really the foundation of our system, because what makes us different than other alarm systems is we have built-in connectivity. And our connectivity is special because it's multi-carrier. It works in areas where folks cannot get good cell phone reception. And that allows us ultimately to build that base, that foundation of having a reliable alarm system. If you don't have good connectivity, you don't have a reliable alarm system. And so that's really the brains behind our alarm system is our BarnTalk gateway box. And then we funnel that information, the data from our wireless sensors through that BarnTalk gateway box into a mobile app, which allows our customers to have real-time information and real-time visibility into their systems. So like I talked about a little bit, I'm going to dive in a little bit more on the connectivity. We talk about rural connectivity, that's included. So inside our gateway box is a multi-carrier SIM card. And so essentially that enables our customers, when they plug in our gateway and power it up, it will automatically go find the nearest cell phone signal in its area. And because our system is certified by multiple different cellular carriers, we were certified by the major carriers here in the US, that allows us to have reliable connectivity. We like I talked about with Jim and Michael, coming from production livestock backgrounds, we built this hardware to be able to work in barns, being waterproof, dustproof. And then like I talked about with our wireless sensors, I'll show you some of those here in a little bit more. That makes it for very easy install for this system. So just diving in a little bit more on the connectivity, like I said, because we have built-in connectivity, that means that customers don't necessarily have to stack different layers of technology to get an alarm system to work, like a lot of these legacy alarm systems do. So you don't need to have a landline at the barn. You don't need to have a cellular plan separate than the connectivity that comes with the BarnTalk alarm system. That's all included in there. And because it's multi-carrier, we don't necessarily rely on just one point of connectivity for our system. If we lose connection from a carrier, we'll just automatically switch and go try to find the next cellular provider. So you always have backup connections that can monitor your operation. One of the features that we've built into our BarnTalk alarm system is what we like to refer to as the heartbeat. So because we can connect to multiple different carriers, we want to build on top of that and make our connectivity even more robust by checking that connectivity every 2 minutes. So we ping every single BarnTalk gateway across our entire customer base every 2 minutes. And we do that to ensure that the system is connected and is working properly. So if we ping a BarnTalk gateway box and it doesn't respond back to us, we send that grower an alarm and let them know that, hey, your system is offline. There's some issues that need to be addressed there. So if we ping that gateway box and it responds back to us, then you don't have to worry about it. We tested it; it's working fine. You can continue to use your alarm system as usual. We really feel like this is a big advantage to our system, because if we think about some of the issues that comes with livestock production around, one of the big examples that we deal with is lightning strikes, for example. If you have your farm that gets subject to a lightning strike and it fries a lot of electrical components, we're not too worried about that, because within 2 minutes, if our system gets fried, we'll be able to pick that up and say, hey, that system is offline. It's no longer connected, and we'll trigger an alarm to let the producer know that that the alarm system is no longer working properly. Here's some of the wireless sensors that we currently offer today. So this gives you an idea of how we can monitor these different variables inside production facilities today. Temperature sensors, humidity sensors, our wireless water meters, wireless dry contact sensors. All of these sensors we can deploy throughout facilities without having to run wires from all these different sensors back to our gateway box. That really makes it, easy for the grower to be able to install this system. Because our sensors are wireless, they do require batteries in order to operate. Those batteries last right around 3 years, so they're really low maintenance from the standpoint of you're not having to change things out. We tell you how much battery life is left for each specific sensor, so you have an idea of that. And they're replaceable for pretty low cost, about $1 or $2 a piece to replace. So if you think about some of the basic things that producers are trying to cover when it comes to an alarm system: power, electricity. Is my ventilation system powered and running properly? Our BarnTalk gateway monitors power where it's plugged in. We also offer a wireless dry contact sensor that is pretty versatile. It can do a multitude of different things. That sensor can plug into an outlet and monitor power from where it's plugged in. But inside that sensor, there are also 2 dry contact terminals. So that allows us to connect to whether it's ventilation controllers. We can connect that to backup generators. If you want confirmation that your backup generator is going through its weekly exercise cycle, we can set up alerts for that. You can also hook this up to, different electrical, circuits and things like that. If you want to monitor 220 power, you can hook our wireless dry contact sensor up to a relay. So if you lose, one or both legs off of 220 power, you can do that. And our wireless water meters, which are pretty popular sensors as well. The nice thing about these ultrasonic water meters is that they're very accurate because they use ultrasonic pulse technology. We can measure water consumption within a 1/4 cup per minute accuracy. And so that really enables producers to keep a close eye on how those animals are doing via water consumption. So these are the sensors that we do offer today. We have a growing suite of sensors. Our pipeline, we've got some exciting things coming that we're looking forward to share with you here probably early next year. So stay tuned for some more information on that. So once we collect all that information from our sensors placed throughout a barn, we package that in a nice mobile app, as you can see here, to give the grower a good idea of what's happening. And because we're constantly updating this, it is about as close to real-time information as we're going to get. Every 1 to 2 minutes, your app will update to be able to tell you what is the temperature inside my barns. What is the humidity? How much water are those animals consuming? And so anytime you open your app, you have that information right at your fingertips, which allows you to kind of check on things. And then when there are alarms that do get triggered, when you open your app, you can see that right away based on, as you can see here, that temperature is starting to creep up a little bit and it's in a warning stage. So it gives you an idea of, okay, do I have an issue? Do I need to address this? Our alarm system, our alarm notifications can be set up via text messages, phone calls, or push notifications on the phone. So inside that mobile app, you can set up your call tree. You can customize those thresholds, really enabling the grower to be able to have full control over that alarm system wherever they are. As long as they've got their phone with them, they can be in control of their alarm system. which is a really big upgrade from every time you need to make some kind of change, having to potentially travel large distances to production facilities and make those changes. It's all right there in the palm of your hands. So that kind of gives you a good overview, a quick overview of the BarnTalk alarm system. If there's any questions that have come in, or if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw those in the comment and let us know that what we have. I see there's a couple questions here. Does that mean I don't need a landline to internet at my barn to connect BarnTalk to the outside world? No. So with the built-in connectivity, there's no need to bring Wi-Fi to the site. There's no need to bring additional connectivity. With our BarnTalk gateway, connectivity is included with it. I see there's another question here. Do you also have 1 1/4 inch water meters? Yes. Our water meters, we have various sizes. They start at 1/2 inch and move up in 1/4 inch increments all the way up to 1.5 inch. So depending on if you're wanting to monitor water for at a room level in a barn, or whether it's for an entire site and you want to put it on a main line, we have water meters that can match those appropriate needs based on those sizes. All right, Kelton, do we want to move into that quick install video, or did you have any other questions that have come in?
No, that's it on questions. I apologize for the feedback. We're working on that. But no, what we'll transition now into is just a quick video showcasing Drew at an actual poultry site, setting up the hardware that comes it's all prepackaged and you install. I'm a city slicker. I gotta admit, I joined the Barn Tools company about a month ago. And I'm very new to the barn world. And when you get onboarded here at this company, they send you your own gateway and they send you sensors. And so as a city slicker, I was able to set this up in less than 15 minutes. And so we'll see here in this video of Drew setting this up how simple it really is to set this up, and we'll get rolling. So we'll watch this, and then if you have any questions, again, throw them in the chat.
Our Barn Tools BarnTalk alarm system in a poultry house. So the first step in our installation process is to mount our gateway box to the wall. So we'll be installing our Barn Tools BarnTalk alarm system in a poultry house. So the first step in our installation process is to mount our gateway box to the wall. So the gateway is going to mount very easily with just a couple screws into the wall. So we're going to start by placing our first screw. The next thing we're going to do is simply plug it into a power source. And then we're going to power it on with this green button on the side of the gateway box. The next step in installing our gateway, now that it's mounted and powered on, is to install the 2 antennas that come with your BarnTalk system. So now it's very simple. We're going to start by installing our first antenna into our cellular port. Our second antenna is going to be for our wireless signal for our sensors to connect to. A wireless signal antenna is going to screw into that second port. And we can place that on there as well, so they're nearby. So we've come out to the poultry house where we're going to hang our sensors today. This house here is about 500 feet long. We're going to be hanging 4 indoor temperature sensors, a humidity sensor, and our beta lux meter. When you get your BarnTalk system, we provide ratchet ropes that allow you to hang these sensors from the ceiling and adjust the length very easily. So these will just clip into the sensor and clip into wherever you're going to hang it from, which allows for easy installation.
That's basically it. It's simple. I apologize if it was glitching. It was glitching on my end, and so if anyone has an epileptic seizure, I apologize for that. But Drew, is it really that simple? Is that what you really have to do?
Right. Yes. It's we try to make this as plug and play as possible, and so that makes it where, as you can see there, there's not really there's no wires you're running out to different sensors. I think on that in that farm there, we had it set up in about 30 minutes or less. So it's a very easy system to set up, and I think it probably would be good, Kelton, if we just go through our mobile app a little bit here and show folks some of the different capabilities in there, because like you just showed there in that video, getting the hardware installed is pretty easy. And I think, as you guys will be able to see here, when we go through our app setup, you'll be able to see how easy it is there too. So Kelton, if you go to the main screen when you first open your BarnTalk app, this is going to show you what all the different essentially gateway boxes that you have, and so in most cases you need one gateway per site. I mean, on the swine side, we see that of where you need one gateway per site. And some poultry farms, if you have big farms with 8 houses or more, you might need multiple gateways. So when you open up your BarnTalk app, you're going to see each one of those tiles is a specific gateway. So if you open up that gateway tile there, that's going to show you all of the different sensors that are connected to that gateway specifically. So you can see we're monitoring power where that's plugged in. And Kelton's got a humidity sensor and a temperature sensor. I hope that's not in your house, Kelton.
I do have a barn. It came with the property when I bought it, but we have a barn cat that is probably pretty freezing right now. It's at 30 degrees, right?
Yeah. And then you'll also see a couple tiles for dry contacts. So in each gateway box, there are 2 open dry contact terminals that you can utilize to hook up to various different things, whether it's your ventilation controllers, water pressure switches, things like that. So those can be used for a multitude of different things. You'll notice up in the top right-hand corner, there's a little gear icon. So once you're inside a gateway, that gives you the ability to rename your barn. So when you get the system, it's going to say gateway. So you can rename that however you'd like. You can also set up your call tree through that. So when you go into set up your call tree, you can invite new people and it will open up your contact list in your phone. They'll receive a text message that says, hey, Kelton wants to add you to his BarnTalk call tree. You actually have the ability as a guest on the call tree to also download the BarnTalk app on your phone and see all of the same things that Kelton would be able to see on his gateway. So that makes sure that not only are you going to be able to receive alarms, you can also open up that app anytime and use that to monitor, see temperature, see water meter readings, things like that. The other thing you can do from that gear icon is that's how you can silence your alarm as well. So if you empty your facilities out, and you market your pigs or market your birds get loaded out, you can turn off calls and notifications for your alarm system very easily through the app there. So Kelton, if you go and open up like that temperature tile, for example, so then you can go in and see more detailed information on each specific tile for each sensor that's in your BarnTalk system as well. So in this case, we can see right now in Kelton's barn, it's 30 degrees. Looks like it got down to 26 last night and yesterday. at 5:39, it was up to 46. So you can kind of see the temperature range there, what the average is. You can actually even go back and look at yesterday's there on that graph and see what temperature's done. So the app will store about 5 days worth of temperature data in it for you to be able to see that. And then if you go up top there, Kelton, you can manage the threshold. So each sensor, you can enable those settings, turn on the alarms, and then you can see there that there's 2 different levels of temperature thresholds you can set. Warning thresholds, which when temperature hits those readings, it will send a push notification to your phone. And then when it gets to the emergency level is when we start triggering text messages and phone calls. So that's a really easy way to manage thresholds for each individual sensor. You can see there up at the top there as well, Kelton, that little pencil icon next to temperature. That enables the mobile app users to rename those sensors, whatever you would like. You can keep all those different sensors different from that standpoint. So yeah, it gives you a really easy way to be able to dive into the system, kind of take a look at it. Kelton, if you open up those dry contacts, I know that there's a lot of different things when it comes to alarm systems that these can be used for. If you go over to the thresholds there in the app, you can use this a multitude of ways. So with dry contacts, you can either hook those up normally open or normally closed, and then you can choose, do I want to get notified when the dry contact is open, or do I want to get notified when the dry contact is closed? And depending on what you're hooking up into those dry contacts, you can choose the level of urgency at which you get those alarms. Do I just want simple push notifications? So if it's hooked up to like a feed line, for example, and that times out, those are something that probably happens a little bit more commonly. But maybe the grower has got a little bit more cushion around, does this need to be addressed within the next 10 minutes, or does this need to be addressed within the next 2 hours? So you can choose, do I want to, be getting calls and text messages, or do I want to get notifications? And then you can also set delays on those as well. Do I want to get notified immediately when that dry contact changes state, or do I want to set a delay time of 30 minutes, an hour, so on and so forth? So those dry contact thresholds can be used in a multitude of different ways, which gives the grower more options of how they want to get those set up. So that's kind of the main things there, Kelton. I think that is good to see on the mobile app. So I don't know if we have any other questions that have come in since then.
Just this one, if you want to address that. So what are some of the benefits of having remote visibility into a barn or poultry house?
Yes. Yep. So one of the big things is that it really provides peace of mind, right? So a lot of times, growers and producers have their anxiety maybe goes up a little bit when thunderstorms roll through, or as we're starting to get into winter time and colder months, making sure that their barns are in a good place during extreme weather. So that gives you the ability to really open up that mobile app, see what's happening in the barns. Are those animals drinking water? What's the temperature like? What's humidity like? It really provides peace of mind for being able to check that any time you'd like.
Awesome. Well, I believe, we do have a couple more questions. Got one more question come in here from Jim.
Do you think I can pull off a win tomorrow? I'm not betting my farm on it, but I feel good. I think they can get out of Ames tomorrow with a win.
Well, BarnTalk can do a lot of things, but I don't know if it can pull off a win for the Cyclones. So. All right. Hey, well, I think that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's webinar. Hopefully we'll be able to do a couple more of these. And if you do have any questions in the meantime, I just wanted to throw this up real quick. We do have what we call just kind of like a stream where you can get additional information and learn more about the products that we do offer. So if you just go over to hub.barntools.com, you'll be able to see a whole array of resources that we have to kind of walk you through what's available out there. So if you do have any questions, I'm sure you have Drew's contact information. Drew is a great resource to figure out how this works for your barn specifically, or if you're a dealer for your customers coming in, we can get you set up in any way to get their hands on this product. So if you have any questions, just reach out and we'll fill those. So thanks everybody. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelton.